All right, in this tutorial I'm going to show you briefly what the APS and the automated webinar service is all about. So from your home page, of course, you'll go here to your APS, and I'm just going to take you over to the tutorials page, which obviously is where you are at. Here the APS and the automated webinars. Okay, so obviously you're going to be, of course, in your dashboard, and from your dashboard you've selected a link or your link that you're going to send out to your business associates, your prospects, your friends, and that's going to be a link that when they click on it will take them to the automated webinar service. Okay, so the automated webinar service, when they first click on that link, it's going to take them right here to this registration page where Vonda.
Hi, I'm Vonda Downs from Denver, Colorado, and I work with businesses to help them show appreciation to their clients.
Where Vonda is going to introduce what this webinar is all about. She's going to encourage them, of course, to select the time and the date for the webinar that they want to watch and to enter their information here. Now, I have to tell you that there's no way for me to integrate your information here in this webinar registration. Okay, so this is tied into Vonda and I's AWeber, so you need to know that up front. Okay, this is tied into our AWeber. We would love to be able to integrate this for you, but that part of it I'm just not able to do. However, we are going to be able to brand this to you if you choose. There's a couple things that I want to show you. You can do an introduction video that will be tied in right here where you might say, "Hi, this is Don Downs. I want to just welcome you to this webinar that we're going to be presenting. My wife here, Vonda, is going to introduce that here in just a minute, but she's fantastic at what she does. I know you're going to love it." And then, so you do that little intro video, and then Vonda will come on and she'll introduce this registration process, and then they'll come on and register. You can even have an outro video if you want. And then your information will show up right here, okay? So this just gets the person to register for the webinar itself. And then when they go to the webinar, I'll show you that in just a minute, but I want to give you a little heads up about what's going to happen during the webinar. So this is a little bit of the back office on the webinar setup. But by the way, the person who registers for the webinar, they're going to get text messages to remind them about the upcoming webinar. A lot of systems allow you to get an email message saying, "Hey, don't forget you've got a webinar coming up," but this one actually enables the registrant, if they choose to get a text message. People always have their phones, and so they're more likely to be reminded when that comes on their phone, so that's pretty cool. And also, there's an option that they have right here to enable phone call alerts. And so this one, they'll actually get a phone call. And again, that's my voice right there. I could have you do that yourself. You could record a short audio to say, "Hey, this is Dave Moore, and looking forward to you joining the webinar later today. It starts at 3 o'clock. Don't miss it." Okay? So actually, let me take that back. You don't want to specifically say the time. That's going to be one generic reminder, and they might be registering at different times. So, "Hey, this is Dave Moore. I want to remind you of your upcoming webinar. Thanks for joining us. I know you're going to love it. It's going to be really beneficial for you, I'm sure." Okay? So you're able to brand it that way with your own audio reminder. But here's the key, and this is really how we're going to be able to tie this in for you. While the video plays, or actually while the automated webinar is going on, while Vonda's doing that, there's going to be some what's called delayed events. These are some pop-ups or some buttons or some messages that will come up below the video that the person watching the webinar will see. So a couple of them, one of them is going to occur at about 35 seconds into the webinar. It's got this little message down here from Brian Buffini. And then another message that occurs about 21 minutes into the video, and it says, "Make an informed decision." And there's going to be a button that will come up that says, "Do you want more information?" And if they do want more information, then that's going, when they click on that, that's going to actually take them to the sales funnel presentation. So they've watched this webinar, but it wasn't enough information for them, not quite ready, don't feel like they're ready to make an informed decision, they want some more information. So they're going to be able to click on a button, and that's going to take them to your sales funnel. And the next tutorial is going to tell you about the sales funnel, and that is really a fantastic tool. Okay, but this is going to be a button here. When they click on it, it will take them to your sales funnel. Okay, so regardless of some of the branding that we do or don't do on the front end, regardless of the fact that that AWeber is going to feed into Vonda and I's AWeber, and we're not going to do anything with your people, don't worry about that. But regardless of that, this is the key. When the webinar happens, these buttons that they click on will take them to your .com, to your .biz, to your sales funnel. Okay? And by the way, of course, you can add that audio to personalize it to yourself. Hey, this is Michelle Reynolds. I want to remind you about your webinar later today. Looking forward to seeing you at the webinar. Okay, so you can do that. Another button that will come up at about 16 minutes and 45 seconds is, are you ready to test drive our system? Okay, take a no obligation test drive, and this one button comes up and it says get started, and this actually will go to the distributor page where they can decide to take a test drive. Okay, and that's going to be branded to your site. Okay, so that's a little bit about the back office. The reason why I wanted to show you that is because now I'm going to show you the webinar, and it's on autoplay, so I'm not going to be able to stop it. So you're going to see Vonda doing the webinar, but I want you to envision just down below the screen, that's where some of these little messages will come up, and ultimately at 16 minutes and about 21 minutes, the get started now if they're ready at 16 minutes, and then at about 21 minutes, the more information, where they click on that and will take them to the sales funnel. Okay, so underneath her video, these things are going to come up, and that's where it's going to take it to your .com, .biz sales funnel or your website. Okay, so actually we need to go up to the top here, and let me go back to my webinars, and here we go.
Thank you for visiting our webinar broadcast room. We haven't started yet, but once the countdown ticks to 0, the webinar will automatically get going. You can either bookmark this page and come back later at the appointed time, or you can simply keep this page open. At any rate, don't miss it, because it's going to be a great event. See you at the webinar.
Okay, because this is a demo here, I can't forego that, I can't skip it. Okay, so this is where the person would come pre-webinar if they show up early, and this is the webinar itself.
Hi, and thanks so much for joining the webinar. I'm going to show you a way to send out a heartfelt card to your whole client database, really in less than 30 minutes. I'm going to show you how to build your business through relationships. This is a system that's an online...
Okay, again, I couldn't stop that, but the area that I was circling there is the area where those messages are going to come up. And by the way, that right there was a place where they could type in some questions, and those questions would end up feeding into Vonda and I's email. Can't change that either, okay? So that is the automated webinar service. And I tell you what, I think that's going to be a great tool because people can watch those webinars anytime, day or night. You can send these links out to whoever you want at any point, and if they decide to watch it then or later on, they click on your link and they go to it later, it's always available to them, and they can select a time that works for them. And there's also a little option for them to choose instant replay, which means they're saying, I can't make this time, I can't make that time, let me just hit the instant replay, and they can watch it right there on the spot. They'll receive an audio message coded to you if you choose to do that. If you send me a picture, I'll give you details about that. We can put your branded picture right there on that registration page, and your information will show up there. If you want to do an intro and an outro video, we can put that on there as well. So it is very well branded to you. Your picture's on there, your information's on there, your audio recording on the phone call reminder message about their upcoming webinar. And then ultimately, and this is what really counts, when the webinar is happening, which is where it all happens, right? And that closes down towards 16 minutes and 21 minutes. I think the video right now on this one is about 23 minutes. At 16 minutes, they'll be invited to get started now. That button will take them to your site. At 23 minutes, if they say they need more information, the video is about ready to wrap up, and the button will still be there when the video closes. If they click on that video, it will take them and give them some great information when they're looking for more information, because it's going to take them to the sales funnel. Okay, so a great system I think you can really benefit from and really utilize. So look forward to you putting this to work and seeing how it goes. We'll see you at the next tutorial, and we'll talk about the sales funnel itself.